Hi there. Before I begin, I'd like to share a little bit about my educational background. I have a bachelor degree in exercise science and a master degree in exercise physiology. I'm a licensed registered dietitian and I hold a board certification in sports nutrition. When I officially started my coaching and nutrition business in 2012, I couldn't wait to use all of my formal education to help athletes achieve their athletic goals through proper fueling and nutrition. I also have over 25 years of athletic experience as a collegiate swimmer turned marathon runner turned long distance triathlete. When I started consulting with athletes, I was very surprised to learn that many athletes were training for athletic events, but were struggling with their relationship with food and the body. Here I was thinking that athletes would be reaching out to me for help applying scientific sports nutrition guidelines to their training and wanting to learn how to fuel the body to support training sessions. Although these things were true, change was difficult for athletes because there was this underlying focus on weight loss, achieving a race weight, and worrying about eating bad or unhealthy foods. Recognizing that athletes who have a fixation on body weight, food, and exercise can experience detrimental issues with mental and physical health and a decline in performance, I've spent the past 10 years advocating that athletes stay away from diet culture. To help with this, I routinely spread positive messages about body image, and through my consulting, I help athletes optimize performance while maintaining a healthy relationship with food and the body. Let's start out with a self check to help you understand your relationship with food and the body. You can keep your responses to yourself, but how many questions did you say yes to? If you said yes to some or many, you are not alone. In many sports, there's a huge push for weight loss. This often makes restrictive eating and overexercising seem normal, all in the pursuit of the perfect body. It's very common for dedicated and disciplined athletes of all fitness levels, not just elite, to mistakenly think that dieting, losing weight, and training intensely are necessary parts of athletic success. For an athlete who is already struggling with how they see their body, even a small negative comment about eating or weight from a coach, a teammate, the media, or a random social media post can be the trigger that pulls that person into diet culture. This isn't to say that you can't change how you're eating for better performance, but when diet culture creeps in, good intentions may turn unhealthy. I also want to mention that coaches have a huge impact, and sometimes they accidentally push unhealthy body standards on their athletes because of their own ideals about what an athlete's body should look like. Even though sports can make you feel healthy, strong, confident, and capable, the pressure to perform combined with what society says an ideal body should look like can create unrealistic expectations. In this presentation, I'll dive into the toxicity that is diet culture and how it can mess with your body image, increase the risk of disordered eating, and cause mental health struggles. I'll finish this presentation with some practical ways that coaches and athletes can develop and maintain a healthy relationship with food and the body. Eating disorders are serious, sometimes deadly, mental health issues influenced by genes and a strong diet and wellness culture. They are almost always tied to feeling a need for control and perfection. Being unhappy with one's body and scared of gaining weight can start at a very young age, affect everyone regardless of gender and age, and are made to seem normal by an industry that makes money off of insecurity, often pushing normal dieting into dangerous, life-threatening illnesses. In the world of sports, where weight and performance are constantly stressed, disordered eating has become so common that it's way more dangerous than many athletes and coaches realize. You probably accept things on your body like a birthmark, a scar, or the size of your feet. I know at the age of 43, I'm 5 foot tall and I'm not going to get any taller. You accept these things because they make you you, and these things don't make you any less worthy. But when it comes to weight and size, these are things that you can change. And society wants you to change because leanness has been falsely equated with success. Industries profit when we believe we are not enough, and we're taught that our worth is conditional, and we have learned to value appearance over function. The real issue isn't what your body looks like. Society loves to push the idea that smaller bodies are somehow better, more successful, accepted, desired, healthy, and happy, while ignoring everybody else. If you don't fit that mold, it's easy to feel unacceptable. That's the actual mess that we need to clean up. And athletes get caught in this trap of judging themselves purely by their size, their shape, and their weight. When you're not feeling good about your body, and we all have those days where we just don't feel comfortable in the skin that we're in, it's normal to look at diet culture to feel like, hey, that's where I'm going to get a handle on those bad feelings. But a much better long term fix is to actually build a healthier relationship with your body. Working on a positive body image helps you fight back against all of those constant negative messages about how you think you should look. It lets you take better care of yourself with food that fuels your active lifestyle, smart fueling, and training that actually makes you a better and healthier athlete. Now that you understand how harmful diet culture can be, let's take a deeper dive into diet culture. Despite the name, diet culture doesn't mean becoming vegan or going keto. Diet culture glorifies a specific body type, which leads to the stigmatization of different body types that don't fit that stereotype. Within diet culture, certain foods are labeled as good and bad, which then makes food choices into moral decisions. Are you a good person because you're eating good food, or are you a bad person because you're eating bad food? Diet culture wants you to believe that your life will be magically transformed if you make yourself smaller or when a goal weight is reached. Diet culture keeps individuals of all ages caught up in this relentless pursuit of thinness, a quest that all too often results in body shame, body loathing, low self-esteem, and body image struggles. Diet culture is unhealthy for the general population, but for athletes, it can be even more problematic because extreme dieting, eliminating certain foods, and chasing a specific body image can compromise performance, health, and mental well being. Culture can be responsible for the significant discrepancy between the thousands of calories an athlete should be consuming to support training, health, and recovery, and the hundreds of calories that they're actually consuming. I've worked with over hundreds of athletes, and I'd say that 90% of athletes that I work with are chronically underfueling and undereating. What's the first food group that people eliminate when they want to lose weight? If you thought carbohydrates, you are correct. The demonization of carbohydrates, processed food, and sugar are so commonly and widely advertised that it's often seen as fact instead of what it actually is, a disordered eating principle of diet culture. Many eating disorders go unnoticed in athletes because of how normalized disordered eating and dieting behaviors have become in the world of sports. It's not uncommon for athletes to avoid processed foods because they're eating clean or to avoid a pre workout snack because they're trying to burn more body fat. Or athletes may be afraid to consume sports nutrition during a workout because they're afraid of the added sugars. For some athletes, the act of food restriction can bring on a sense of self control, having nothing to do with health and performance. The behaviors discussed here that you see are not sports nutrition guidelines, they are not backed by science. Diet culture is everywhere and it is detrimental to athletic development. It normalizes disordered eating behaviors by promoting the belief that depriving yourself, restricting yourself, going hungry, and making yourself smaller are needed as an athlete. This ultimately reinforces the harmful idea that performance depends on your body size, shape, and weight. In my practice, I recognize that some athletes lack the knowledge about the caloric needs required to support endurance training, which unintentionally leads them into a state of low energy availability. Additionally, some athletes lack the time, the resources, or appetite to consume enough food. However, athletes who experience body dissatisfaction or have a strong desire to change their body composition are more likely to exhibit disordered eating behaviors. Interestingly, athletes can initially perform well despite having disordered eating or an eating disorder. But this is usually short lived, as the unhealthy eating behaviors eventually take a toll on the athlete's body, both physically and psychologically. Because disordered eating behaviors are so normalized and sometimes glamorized in our society, athletes may believe they are eating healthy when in reality, they're constantly trying to perform in a state of low energy availability. If the body is not receiving adequate nutrition, important body systems will slow or shut down in an attempt to protect itself from harm. This often results in significant health and performance issues. Any restrictive or nutritionally inadequate style of eating can jeopardize health and performance. Unfortunately, many athletes fail to recognize their nutritional limitations until a setback occurs. If your goal is weight loss for performance, you should not compromise your desired outcome. Proper nutrition is essential for athletic performance and can lead to sustainable, non forced weight loss. In contrast, extreme dieting and elimination of specific food groups or foods can compromise performance, harm health, stall body composition changes, and negatively impact overall well being. Following sport-specific nutrition and daily diet guidelines can help athletes enhance performance and reduce the risk of injury and illness. Eating enough is essential for athletes to perform at their best. Many athletes are unaware how to properly fuel and nourish their bodies to support their daily training hours, especially while working full-time or training at a high level. It is important to understand that an underfueled body cannot withstand the stress of training and will struggle to achieve body composition change goals. Keeping the body adequately fueled and nourished optimizes health and performance and may actually aid in achieving positive body composition changes. In today's crazy world of AI, influencers, and weight loss drugs, it's easy to lose perspective on what a healthy body actually looks like. Good news, you can totally be a successful, happy, and accomplished athlete, even if you don't look like those unrealistic images on social media. Athletes are diverse and come in all different shapes and sizes. Every athlete has a sweet spot, that race-ready body where the body just works the best. It's not about a number on the scale or the size of your tri-suit. It's about solid training, great nutrition, great mental and physical health, and a smart fueling and hydration plan. A healthy weight isn't about fitting a certain look or hitting a specific number. The way that you think your body needs to look may not be the way it actually looks when it's at its healthiest. Your race weight is totally within the range of a healthy weight, and a healthy weight can absolutely be your race weight. Together, we can actively reduce harm in sport by changing how we talk about bodies and performance, shifting praise away from size, rejecting weight as a measure of athletic success, modeling body respect, and highlighting athletes of all different sizes, shapes, and body types. When we do this, we create environments where all athletes can thrive. Small language and behavior changes add up. When we challenge diet culture in everyday training environments, we protect mental health, support long-term performance, and make sport safer for everyone. As an athlete, eating for fuel and for nourishment means moving away from food rules and restriction towards eating enough and eating a wide variety of foods and respecting food's role in performance, health, and enjoyment. Athletes often need intentional, planned fueling strategies, including pre and post workout snacks and utilizing sports nutrition products properly to meet the demands of training and to protect health. And when things feel confusing, guidelines from a sports dietitian specializing in your sport can help. Performance isn't achieved by shrinking the body, it's achieved by fueling it, respecting it, and training it effectively. Separating athletic success from weight and appearance allows us to cultivate healthier athletes, sustainable performance, and truly inclusive training environments. Strong, resilient, high performing athletes come in all shapes and sizes, and sport is richer when we celebrate that diversity. Diet culture has no place in sport. The pursuit of a specific weight or appearance compromises health, performance, and enjoyment. Athletes excel when the focus is on nourishing, training, and supporting their bodies, not on restricting them. Sports are meant to build confidence, physical strength, skills, and life lessons. Above all, athletes should be empowered to do what they love with the body that they have, no matter their size, weight, or shape.